All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Before we get into tonight's topics, I know the most common question to this video, even though it will be about the murder of a man, which needs to be recognized by the people. People need to see what's really happening in this world. Tomorrow night, Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, we'll do the first discussion on the March Madness tournament that begins just days away. And we will do another discussion Wednesday night, earlier, probably 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, right before the night the tournament begins. So that will be on Patreon. Again, $5 a month. You get all my sports content. The Patreon link is in the description of the video. And with that said, I want to talk about marvelous Marvin Hagler's death on March 13th. No doubt another murder by numbers. And the latest headlines are that there's some confusion because just before he died, it was posted on social media that he was having bad side effects from a recent vaccine. So some headlines are saying that conspiracy theories are starting already, but at the same time, everyone's just getting their information from what's being put out in the mainstream. Let's talk more about that. Drew Brees retired today on the 15-year anniversary of signing with the Saints on Pi Day, March 14th. And on the date of the Grammys, 52-year-old Reggie Warren of the R&B group Troop. And there's not a lot of information out there publicly about this man. But again, year after year, we document these suspicious deaths on the day of the Grammys, award shows. Sometimes it's the day before, but a lot of times the day of. The day of the 58th Grammys, that was the day Vanity died, Prince's girlfriend. We said right then, oh man, this doesn't look good for Prince. The day of the 58th Grammys. Next thing you know, Prince is dead April 21st, 4/21, when he had the song I Would Die For You, where he spelled it with the number 4 and the letter U like he was 30 years ahead of his time, and used the 21st letter. So the title was I Would Die 4/21 in Gematria terms, and he died on 4/21, the Queen's birthday. Then they lit up Niagara Falls purple, and people said, how did they do that so fast for Prince? And they said, oh no, that's for Queen Elizabeth's birthday. But everyone forgot that Vanity's from Niagara Falls, where she was a beauty queen. So anyhow, I have no doubt that this man's death has everything to do with the Grammys today, no matter what the mainstream will end up reporting. Talk more about his passing, but first, marvelous Marvin Hagler. He died on March 13th, 313 yesterday. And notice his name in Gematria, marvelous Marvin Hagler, 313. And again, if you're new here, Gematria is a very simple practice of coding numbers into words based on the alphabetical order forwards. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1 back to A is 26. When you run the alphabetic order in reverse and you write out marvelous Marvin Hagler, it's 313. And then also those two orders with the rules of numerology. So there's 4 base ciphers. When you see all 4, you see the way the rituals come together. Marvin Hagler in what's considered the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. You see how M is worth 4? It's because M's the 13th letter. The numerology of 13 is 1 plus 3 is 4. A is the first letter, so it's 1. R is the 18th letter. 1 plus 8 is 9, so R is 9. V is the 22nd letter, so 2 plus 2 is 4. Marvin Hagler equals 65. Remember, 313 is the 65th prime number. And we've been talking about this combination with 313 and 65s in regard to vaccines. If you have not read my book, probably can't even see the name of the title of it without getting a video censored. But in the book, in my book that I wrote about 9/11 to coronavirus, dangerous things to even mention on YouTube these days, there's a chapter on Bill Gates and his decade of vaccines that was declared 10 years before coronavirus landed in his city, almost to the day. His decade of vaccines, 10 years later, coronavirus lands in the city. But notice decade of vaccines equals 65 and 313. After Bill Gates turned 65 years old, it was his 42nd day of his age. Vaccine 42, big number with him. But again, while Bill Gates was 65 years old, the vaccines went live a decade after declaring his decade of vaccines. And again, it equals 313, which is the 65th prime, and 65. And now they're saying Marvin Hagler was suffering from vaccine side effects right before his passing. You know what I mean? And again, if you guys think this is a coincidence, it's not. With regards to the fact that vaccines went live on Bill Gates' 42nd day of being 65 years old, remember, his first birthday, October 28th, 1956, was Jonas Salk's 42nd birthday, who's credited with the polio vaccine, and Elvis got the vaccine on live TV that day, exactly 42 weeks after his own birthday, years before he would die at age 42. And again, there's just been a million rituals with 42 and vaccines. Ask yourself, what are the odds of the Bill Gates-backed vaccine going live on his 42nd day of age 65, a decade after his decade of vaccines declared, where he wanted to push to vaccinate the world? So realize, rituals to these numbers, and again, when you know the code, you start to connect dots that most people would never see. But anyhow, dead on March 13th, 313, the 65th prime. And again, these are statistical improbabilities. Now, with regards to 42 and vaccines, from his May 23rd birthday to his March 13th death, exactly 42 weeks later. Exactly 42 weeks, right? And we know they stamped that number all over Black history. You know, they're really forcing the propaganda to Black Americans and Black people of the world to go out and get the vaccine. Remember, Tuskegee's 42. Not a nice number in Black history. Slavery's 42. Martin, 42. Malcolm X, 42. Remember in the sitcom Martin, he lives in apartment 42. February Black History Month is 42 in the Most Pure cipher. The N-word's 42 in that cipher. Notice the name Jackie's 42, of course, number 42. And the list just goes on. Huxtable, 42. Cosby Show, 42. That was the name of the family in the Cosby Show, Huxtable. Black family. In a time where there weren't many black families in sitcoms. But he's dead 42 weeks after his birthday. This 31365 thing, it's already connected to vaccines. And with regards to boxers, notice Muhammad Ali's 42 and 66. Marvin Hagler's dead at 66, 42 weeks after his birthday. Just with regards to the racial component of this, remember, 66 is the 11th triangular number, and in the Most Pure cipher, Black is 11. So if you add 1 through 11 together, it equals 66. There's this relationship with 66 and 11. And again, 42 weeks after his birthday. In Sumerian Gematria, which is just where you multiply the alphabetic order times 6, Hagler, his surname is 666. Remember, vaccination has that 666 connection in Sumerian Gematria. The Cladex simulation, 666 days before the pandemic was declared. It was on May 15, 2018, a pandemic similar to like what we're living out, where they rush out vaccines that do even more damage to people. But he died, in terms of big names in sports right now that are active that have these numbers coded on them, LeBron James. LeBron James has the 42 and 66. And remember, the phrase number of the beast equals 66. The beast rules for 42 months in Revelation. That's the 66th book of Protestant Bibles. And from LeBron James' birthday, December 30th, to his death, 73 days later, you know, sacrifice has that 73 connection. Ritual sacrifice, 73. This could possibly be coincidental, but I highly doubt it is. A lot of athletes die in connection to LeBron, and sometimes as time goes on and more rituals are fulfilled, what they're doing becomes all the more clear. But notice LeBron's 36 right now. 666 is the 36th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 36, it's 666. So I suspect that this is connected to LeBron and what's coming for him this year. And again, just taking away great athletes for a athlete that's currently, you know, doing his thing and considered great. But what's definitely not a coincidence is him dying on March 13th, 313, the 65th prime, connecting with his name in the Most Pure cipher. And notice he began boxing in 73. Told you guys at the start of the year, you'll see a big pattern with 73 and 21 because 73 is the 21st prime number. Again, he's dead 73 days after LeBron's birthday. sacrifice connection. And here's at Fox News. Here's how they report it. Marvin Hagler health update before death sparks anti-vaccine messages. Thomas Hearns tries to quiet noise. A health update on marvelous Marvin Hagler hours before the boxing legend died Saturday night raised eyebrows. Fellow boxing great Thomas Hearns shared with his followers that Hagler was fighting the after effects of the vaccine before the former undisputed middleweight ultimately passed away. And realize, we just had Hank Aaron die, I believe it was 17 days after getting the vaccine, which was a popularized media story. So, in recent times, this is the second, great athlete that happens to be black who got the vaccine and then didn't live much longer. But the media will say that's conspiracy theories. Google could even decide to take down this video and say it's medical misinformation. It's like, well, all I'm doing is reading what's out there in the news and connecting dots that most people would not see. And that's the real problem, is connecting the dots. But yeah, it's just it's too bad more people don't have a little bit of like common sense and a little ability to see probability and how improbable these things are. Again, you guys, that decade of vaccines, 65,313, he's got the same numbers. The other big number that goes with that riddle is 42. He's dead exactly 42 weeks after his birthday. As for Drew Brees, still breathing. There was never a story about Drew Brees hanging out by the freeway, getting ran over in the middle of the night on the day of the Super Bowl, as there has been for other football players who aren't as famous because they're second-string running backs and whatnot. Stories that nobody blinks an eye at. But here's Drew Brees retiring tonight, March 14th, 2021, the 15-year anniversary of signing with New Orleans, the city known as NOLA. But notice he's 42 years old, retires 42. And he's retired on Pi Day, right? Pi Day, 314, like pi is 3.14, that magical number. And when you write out number, it's 73. And when you write out math, it's 42. On the 73rd day of the year, he retires at 42. Notice how he's retired after 15 seasons and well. And look at how NOLA and math go together in the most pure ciphers, the 4 base ciphers. The exact same in all 4 ciphers. Retired at age 42 after 15 seasons and 21 in NOLA, which is the exact same in all 4 base ciphers. And if you guys were here when I started in 2013, I only knew the green cipher and the blue cipher, the two on the far left. All I would have seen back then is the 42 and 15, but wouldn't that have made a lot of sense? Retiring at age 42 after 15 years in the city. And if you ever wondered why Drew Brees wore the number 9, again, when we talked about this when I first started. We saw that his name was 99 and 45 was the 9th triangular number. Number 9, whose name equals 99. And again, 45 in the most pure cipher. If you add 1 through 9, it's 45. But notice, his name in all 4 base ciphers, it all has numerology of 9. 9 plus 9 is 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9. I didn't finish the math on that. Somebody who's new here will come and get confused by that. Let me fix that right now. Again, numerology is reducing to a single-digit number, right? So 9 plus 9 is 18, and then 1 plus 8 is 9. So 99 becomes 9 in numerology. 45 is 4 plus 5 is 9. 144 is 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 9. 54 is 5 plus 4 is 9. And Drew Brees wore the number 9. So, and you know what else? Retiring at 42? When you write out 9 in the most pure cipher, it's 42. And it's 66 and 21 like NOLA. And math. That's funny. That's funny. That is funny. Okay. The New Testament, you guys, in the Bible, just for the record, 42 in the most pure cipher, 66 in reverse. The Protestant Bible, the 66th book's the concluding book of the New Testament. The New Testament begins with the 42 generations to Jesus in the book of Matthew, in Mass 42, 66, and Mass 21 like Bible. And again, like Jesuit as well. It's the Jesuits who gave us the language and the calendar and synced it all up. Oh, and then their big day of worship, right? The Jesuits, the Sun Cult Sunday, the Catholic day of worship. And by the way, Sunday and Jesuit are the exact same in all four ciphers. Sunday and Jesuit identical in all four. And I see I got to shrink myself because I'm in the way. But there it is. Or I'm tripping, you guys. It's not the same in all four ciphers. It's the same in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. Same in 3 out of the 4, Sunday and Jesuit. Jesuit's got that 42. Just like in that same cipher, Georgetown's 42. First Jesuit university in the nation. Established right before George Washington's 57th birthday in D.C. And this picture right here with him and Brady, he's retired 35 days after the Super Bowl. Don't forget that. That's a big number with Brady, too. Remember, Tom Brady's 35 in the most pure cipher. I've always called that the Tom Brady number. And this year in Super Bowl 55, remember, in Super Bowl 55, Brady appeared for his 10th time. He stayed on 80 career losses, and he got his 149th career home win, which is the 35th prime, exactly 149 months after Carl Sheffers worked his first NFL game where Brady beat the Chiefs 17-10, like 17's the 7th prime, and he got his 7th ring in 21 when Saturn's 21, and Saturn has 7 rings. And 17 plus 10's 27. Super Bowl's on 2-7 in his 10th Super Bowl. So, again, that's how you can see how the history of the NFL is scripted. Because when you see how these rituals come together, you just see how perfect it all is. And realize we were talking about these things before the game was even played. But for another one, R&B group Troop member Reggie Warren dead at 52. And right away, that surname, the exact same as murder in all 4 base ciphers. And you see how murder's got the 83, 38, 79? Remember the movie poster for Murder by Numbers? The orange numbers around the letters are 7 and 9 like 79. The E's a 3, the B's an 8, 3883. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police came out in 83. The star of the film is Sandra Bullock for another 83. But he had that fateful surname, Gematria. And the thing is, I can't find this man's birthday, so it's hard to do a proper decode. Troop does have that Gematria 84 like Sunday and Jesuit. And the group stood for total respect of other people, which equals 365, like the number of days in a year. He's dead at age 52, 52 weeks in the year. And remember, in the most simple cipher, Pope is 52. The Gregorian calendar that we're on is named after Pope Gregory. Again, the calendar we're on, the language we use, English, it all comes from the Catholic Church. Catholic or English is credited to the monk Berthworth. But yeah, I'll look for more information on this man. The only deaths I see reported in the music world outside of his is in Africa. A 66-year-old musician died today. And his name, Theon Balago Sek, Gematria 93 like Grammys. So, could be coincidental. That's a big number with Beyonce, and I saw Beyonce's daughter won an award today. So, again, I mean, it's not hard to see that Beyonce must have sold her soul at some point. I mean, coming out with the clothing line Icy Park in the week that her hometown Houston froze over. I mean, come on, you guys. Jay-Z made the king of hip-hop after everybody else dies. I mean, come on, you guys. He also died 2 days after his birthday, and he died at age 66. He was a black man. 66, the 11th triangular number. Again, black is 11 in the most pure cipher. So, and all the rituals we talk about with all these numbers, you know, testing of the vaccines began on black Africans on the 106th day of the pandemic. The ritual with the statue of the black football player, the first black football player. I want to say it was it Texas A&M or was it Texas Longhorns? It was one of those two schools. To go back and look at that, but it was the day leaving 34 days left in the year. First statue of the first black football player for their team. There's more to it than that. I got to go back and review that. But he died at 66 on the day of the Grammys. And, you know, some things could be coincidental. I mean, there's a lot of people that sing in the world. There's a lot of musicians worldwide. You have a 1 in 365 chance of dying on any given day of the year, statistically. I guess in a leap year, it's 366. But this man was an Iranian music critic. He died at age 85. Remember the Jesuit motto, "Isus Omnem Salvator" equals 85. He died on a Sunday, the day of the Grammys. Grammy singular's 85. Again, if anyone's death is coincidental today, it's this man. But remember, the Jesuits who do this, they are a new world order. Their rituals are performed worldwide, just like how we documented people died worldwide for Brady's Super Bowl. Rugby players, European football players, clear rituals paying tribute to the number 55 as he won Super Bowl 55. So on the day of a big music awards ceremony, it's a similar type of thing. But again, you guys, just the same stuff year after year. So I don't want to give people a reason to doubt or that maybe all of this could be a coincidence, because it's not. This is what goes on every single day in this sick world order, which it truly is. And I'll tell you what, after visiting Seattle, man, you just feel like the world's 10 times sicker than it actually is, because Seattle's just a nasty place. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. One last thing, if you have not signed up for my other backup channel, Voices of Humanity, I'm just going to play this clip on mute. I'm just going to let you watch how this happened. This is from us yesterday in Seattle. Just getting out, talking to people about what's going on, the masks, the pandemic, what people really think. We talked to this man right here, and we just had him think about things. And he was explaining, man, the only reason he wears a mask is because, everyone else wears one, and he really doesn't like it. But he doesn't like when people yell at him for not having it on. And we didn't ask him to take off his mask, but he was just filling the conversation, because I was saying, all of it wasn't captured on camera, but I was saying, we don't have to live in fear, man, and we don't have to, do things just because we're willing to, we're thinking we're going to get scolded by our peers. But after he did that, I picked up his mask for him because the police were behind me. I didn't want them to come harass him for taking off his mask and doing that. But it was awesome, man. And you can come watch the video on Voices of Humanity and listen to the sound. Part of the reason I didn't play it is because I'm trying to entice you to sign up for the backup channel. GematriaEffectNews 21, I won't be posting on that for a while. It's suspended. Probably going to have to start GematriaEffectNews 22, sadly. I'm sad to say I'm probably going to have to do that. But yeah, I asked the police about why they don't do anything about Antifa. They said talk to your city council, as if they're getting orders from them, which is no surprise. It's obvious that it's a federal thing. But pounded some pavement here in Yakima. And if you missed the live streams yesterday on GematriaEffectNews 21, sorry, YouTube took them down. But I got this short clip at the end of the day just kind of recapping all the censorship we were put through and all the amazing things that we lost. The only reason that I have this clip and this clip is because some gentleman who was watching the live streams was somehow able to record it onto his own phone, and he backed these up on his channel. If anybody else backed up great stuff from the live stream yesterday, because there was a lot. I mean, they took down 6 hours of content. If anybody else has any of the other great highlights, let me know. I would love to re-upload them. But if anybody has the rant I did at the police officers before this one, because you guys, there was a man playing the saxophone right by us, and it was nice. I mean, he was really, really good sax player. And so just nice music. It was like live music for our thing that we were doing. It was cool. And while he was doing that, all of a sudden he had to put down his thing. He was like, hey, stop. The meter maid was giving his car a ticket, right? And these two police officers who were posted up watching us just started busting up laughing, watching him chase down the meter maid, and just like it was so funny. And it just reminded me of what cops are, man. But like why not instead just sit there and laugh, holding their Starbucks, taxpayer dollars at work? Why not go over there with him and say, hey, he's been playing some beautiful music all afternoon, give him a break today, let him move his car. But no, we watched. He got the ticket. And I went off on the cops about what I thought about police and what kind of example they were setting. If anybody has that captured still, I would like to have that clip back. But yeah, the big tech censorship is something else. So anyway, also awesome interactions today in Yakima with some people. And look at this, you guys. This man right here is 81. She's 80. They came out, shook our hands. They were impressed by us getting out the word, and they said, all year we haven't been following the protocols. We've been living our life like any other year. Haven't been sick. They said they've traveled more to Idaho and South Dakota because there people are living life like nothing's different. And they're from this little town of Yakima too. But we had Lynn and Randy pounding pavement with us. But yeah, this couple in the middle, 81 and 80. And, just not letting the TV get to them. And it's just too bad you say things like this. Your video could just get taken down for medical misinformation. You're like, what misinformation? I'm just reporting to you from reality. Outside of, mainstream media propaganda, because that's truly what it is. So, Voices of Humanity, you guys, that's the channel. And try to do less Gematria stuff over there and just more talking to people about stuff. I have been forced to use it as a backup channel, so it has some Gematria stuff on here. But really, this is going to be the channel where I'm just going to do more talking to people and letting other people just talk about current issues. So less Gematria, more conversations that need to be had. Exactly what happens in this video right here is what it's all about. And really this. Police officers are part of humanity. Not my favorite part, but here's some Voices of Humanity too, making excuses for why they let Antifa terrorize cities. Clearly a federal fascist organization that says it's anti-fascist. Couldn't get any more Orwellian, so. All right, Truth Seeker. We'll leave it there. Have a good rest of your night. I need a good night's rest, and my voice is worn out too because all these hours of pounding pavement. Woo! It's taking a toll on the throat. But not like sick, just worn out, sore. But also, if you guys could hit the likes, that'd be helpful. I see there's quite a few people in here and hardly any likes. Don't forget to hit the like button, Truth Seeker. All right, have a good one, you guys.